Do you ever have a great idea and you struggle to convey what you've got in mind? Maybe it's a new product or a feature, and no matter how much you describe it, people don't quite get it. If only there was a way to quickly, almost automatically visualize your idea in an instant.
What?
Well, with technology moving at an increasing pace, there are more and more tools out there that can actually allow you to take your idea and turn it into a prototype that brings that to life, especially with the world of AI. And so on this channel, I'd like to start testing out some of these tools and showing you what they can do and my thoughts on them. So today we're going to look at one particular tool. Let me introduce you to it. The tool we're looking at today is called Galileo AI. No, not that guy. No, Galileo AI is an interesting use of generative AI that allows you to bring together high-fidelity prototypes of websites or applications within seconds. There are a number of tools like this on the market, but I thought this one looked pretty interesting, so I've decided to test it on a little website idea that I've got. So here's the interface of Galileo, and what you can see is you can choose to have a mobile or a web application, and in this case I wanted to have a website. And the idea I've got is to create a site that allows any product manager to be able to input a few things about the product, like a description and some of the problems they're trying to solve, and for it to come up with some automatic user stories. And what you can see on the screen is all I had to do was put in an initial prompt. It's tried to validate that, and then it's come up with some ideas of some screens. It came up with 5 screens in total. The first screen asks for a brief overview of the product. The second screen asks for a bit of information about the users. The third screen asks for details about some of the features that you've got in mind. The fourth screen confused me a little bit because it was asking about generating user stories from some additional descriptions, which wasn't quite what I was thinking about, but interesting. And the final screen allows you to order your user stories, but I didn't quite understand how that would work by looking at it. So yeah, a pretty good start, but not quite what I was looking for in all places. What's nice at this point is you can actually give it feedback on what it's given you and make suggestions of further changes, and it will iterate a little bit, but I really struggled to make it do exactly what I was looking for. So at this point, it's given me some really interesting screens and some ideas of how it might look and feel, but it's not quite right. It's not actually what I want. So I think it's best if I go and get a pen and some paper and have a go myself. Here we go. This is me trying to sketch out some of the screen designs, and you'll see that I'm starting by doing some rough sketching, and then I go in, add a bit more detail. I'm no artist at all, and if I'm honest, I think I need the Art Attack theme tune here, but I gave it a shot.
This is an art attack? This is an art attack. This is Art Attack!
And here you go. I don't know how well you can see that. Maybe I'll put a picture up on the screen. But that's my attempt to draw each of the screens on a piece of paper. So let's see how it responds if it looks at these images and I give it a bit of a description. And can it match what I've got in my mind? What hadn't really worked with me on the initial text to UI designs was that the screens looked great individually, but they didn't seem to flow one to another. So if you clicked on one screen, the next screen would look quite disjointed. And so that's what I was trying to fix with my new designs. And what's great here is you can upload an individual screen design and give it a description. What I'll do is I'll put my sketch up on a screen and then show you the AI output. And you'll see they're really similar. It actually does a great job, particularly this first screen, and just makes it look really professional. There's a couple of things that aren't exactly as I thought they would end up looking, but it even can understand my writing, and which I thought was pretty cool. Then here's the second screen that I designed and the AI output, and you'll see again it's really close to what I had in mind. The only thing I could spot that was different here is it forgot to put the back button, but that's pretty impressive. And here's the final screen that I tried it with, which was the reviewing user stories ideas. I actually had the thought that this would be a little bit different to how it ended up turning out, but I quite liked bits of what it came up with. So again, pretty close to what I would have done if I tried doing this manually on Figma or somewhere similar myself. Overall, I'm really impressed by Galileo. I think it brings to life an idea and demonstrates what that could look like in high fidelity very quickly. But what it doesn't do is replace a product designer or UX designer, because in my view, it's great at showing individual screens, but it doesn't have the logic in place to really understand how an intuitive end-to-end experience might work. And that's where those kind of roles come in really helpful. It's also made me a lot more interested in trying out different technologies that can help with prototyping. And if that's something you think you'd be interested in too, then please let me know by liking the video or commenting below. So until next time, I will try to improve my drawing, and I wish you all the best on your product journey.